Hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's having a great week so far. Just wanted to come in today and check up on everybody and do a little market recap for you guys, right? So, I guess first and foremost, I'm pretty sure you guys want to know how the 1K account is doing. It's actually doing very great. Not a lot of big trades, but just some quality trades that I did focus on some of the trades that I explained. And just a reminder, this is not a signals type of play. It's not a 1K account where you can come in and look for a signal and you're automatically 100%. It's none of that. What I ended up explaining for this 1K account is that it's going to be a growth account, something that you can understand to be able to take a specific trade based on everything that we've broken down. So it's basically up to you. Okay. Everything that I broke down in the server, in the chat, there's actually a few plays that I wanted to go through if you guys wanted to check these out, right? So real quick, let's just talk about the market, right? So today we did experience a nice green day. The thing about this green day is that the volume is very minimum, okay? That's what it shows on here. Let's go check the actual, yes, let's go see what the volume is. And it's actually massive volume. All right, so the other one was a little off, but this one shows all the volume. All right, so let's check the zones, right? So this is what I ended up doing on the weekly video. I said this was one of the zones right here. This was the base, and this is exactly where we bounced at the 44.30. And now we created that pre-market base here, and we have a nice green day that's potentially going to create a nice base here. We might just close inside this area, or we might just continue into the next 2 days, right? Next trading sessions, which is Thursday and Friday. So I'm going to be looking for a nice momentum push. I think the sentiment in general, everything changed, and the market is going nice and green. Okay, so I hope you guys were able to catch this. I know some of you guys are probably wondering, like, well, what happened? Is this going to be a fake out? Is this going to be, to trap all the bulls and things like that? You guys are probably wondering. Well, let me just show you something on NQ that kind of gives me the awesome explanation on how this is actually working. So when it comes to price action, you guys know that I look at characteristics, I look at supply and demand. I look for things to change, to trend change, and I don't use indicators. I don't depend on them. I could care less for them. I have a naked chart. I have just candlesticks and these volume bars that's just like custom on the TOS. So I don't have nothing fancy. I don't have no TTM squeeze or none of that. I don't have nothing. What you guys see here, this is how all my charts look, and this is what I base everything off of. I've been trading for quite some time, and it takes a long time to develop the eye for value, the eye for changing trends. A lot of things out there. Some of you guys are worried about reading the tape, and other you guys are worried about the EMA crosses, and some of you guys have like all these strategies, right? Not taking any value away from them, but if you can't find consistency, then why are you worried about all these other things? Focus on who you are first, and focus on your portfolio growth, and try to visualize what's happening in the market. Don't worry about all that other stuff. All that other stuff is just extra noise that's happening, that is just extra tools that you really don't need. So what I noticed here on NQ is a characteristic pattern, and I want to point out to you guys that I was able to identify today before it happened. And then I talked to a few of my mentorship people who I work with closely, and I was able to help them identify the change in direction before it happened, right? So let's explain this. Look at this. I want to show you guys this, all right? Here's all the supply that was built, okay? All supply, right? How did it become supply? Because it got rejected from here. All right, so I'm just going to point this out just so you know. And when we change trend, it started here. It started here because now the direction confirmed on this day. But what happened here is that the pre-market going green, next thing you know, red. pre-market again, push green, characteristic, what happened? Red, okay? Same thing here, characteristic, green, red. What happened here? Green, the expectation, red. This is what I said. If we go green, all the momentum and the shift and the trend change is going to happen right here when the characteristics change. This is where everything happened. All the buyers stepped in the market, the volume came in, the pattern and the characteristics of this downtrend already broke. So now the momentum all across the board is shifting to the top side. Now all the bulls came in, they're taking over, and they're going to start looking for these dip buys, okay? I'm not saying that this is a bottom. Market can do whatever it wants. Tomorrow we can wake up way down here if it wants. I mean, we can wake up at all-time highs, whatever. All I know is that I trust the analysis. I trust the characteristics in the movement here within the candles. And because of this movement, the shift change happened in a lot of stocks. So I just want to point out a couple of them for you guys. Here, Amazon, same thing, had an amazing day, dropped down here. And then with the good volume came in, again, like I said, the momentum changed and it gave that thing a good push. Google was on the top watch list as well. If you guys paid attention, some of the guys were able to play some calls here. So that's amazing that, you know, somebody was able to message me in the server and say, you know, thank you. I was able to use these levels, right? These levels that I provide are the same today, tomorrow, and yesterday. Nothing has changed. If anything, they are your dip buy levels, they are your first target, they are your stop loss levels, and all the above. Today, I was able to play puts right at the open for Google, and it broke this little flag. But then right here, the same level that I provided at 28.30, you see my alert never hit for the bottom. It actually ended up pushing to the top of this here. So now we have a bullish play on Google. It showed the most strength in the market, in my opinion, and it's a big name, and definitely we could see all-time highs again for Google. Google has been very strong lately, and it's been showing an intense amount of dip buys everywhere all across the board. And look at this. So right here, I was able to get in Google. I ended up selling at my first target. So enter here, sell here. You know, this easy little 30-minute trade can lead you to some amazing profits, even on times 1 contract. And the contracts were only like, I think they're about between $9 and $13, which is not bad, only to sell for a profit of like 20 to 25. So it's pretty decent, right? Don't quote me on the contracts, but just giving you guys an example. So there goes Google. Let's take a look at DAL. DAL was one of the top list as well. And like I said here, when I did this video on Sunday, we were down here. I said we were grabbing calls. I was able to play puts to the downside and play calls to the top side here, all in the same day for DAL. I actually swung a contract and I ended up stopping out in the red. So 2 trades in 1 day, both green, 1 swing trade red, which is okay. You know, out of 3 trades, I won 2, which is not bad. And then today again, look, it's using the same levels that actually created this double bottom. And now I'm just looking for this demand to build right here. I'm looking for the support to keep on holding for DAL and continue all the time. If you guys can see all these alerts that I have here on my little arrows, I'm ready for this to trend change to the top side, right? Let me just show you another one, Jets. Jets was the other one that I kept telling you guys that the 2220 level is going to be that support level. So as long as this holds, I'm bullish in airlines, just in general. So I'm going to keep on holding this, right? So the 1K account, definitely awesome play. Another one that I alerted to in the chats, kept talking about GM. GM was another ticker that we ended up trading. It took some 50 calls here when this changed trend, and it actually pumped again today, and it's hitting the first alert, first target up here. So it's a nice rally-based rally. It's a nice staircase pattern, which is pretty awesome. So keep eyes on GM. I think GM still has a lot of room for recovery, and now that it's built this staircase pattern, make sure to buy on the red candles, buy on the pre-market lows or the previous high of day or the previous low of day, wherever. As long as we continue to the top side, keep on looking for GM continuation to the top. Okay, it's not a huge mover, but again, you guys can load up on a small account, and you can definitely look for a nice movement to the top side, all right? So look for that for GM. And then let me show you another ticker that we ended up posting today, this morning. We ended up posting TSM, all right? Now, I want to point out a couple things so you guys can be aware of, why I posted this. Remember that this is a 1K account growth. How do you look for setups? What do you look for? A+ setups, are you ready, mentally prepared the next day? Things like that, right? I'm not here to give you guys a signal. That's the thing. I want to be able to provide a value for you guys that you can be able to trade a 1K account no matter where you are in your trading journey. So this pattern naturally is considered a little bullish. Now, a pennant, it can go both ways. The only reason why I say it's considered bullish, it's because of the run that it's recently had. The levels that we're over, it's basically we're over a massive range, and we're kind of just at the top of this little peak here, which is like around the 125 area. For one, starters, the move is already too big, okay? Two, we have a pattern. This can go either way, up or down. As you guys can see, I have my alert on the top. Three, this market sentiment was still bearish right at the open. Next thing is it has dividend payout. The dividend payout, normally any stocks usually tend to trend down that day. And then towards the end of the day, it ends up getting bought up. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it continues to the downside. All right, so being aware of that. So I was already mentally prepared for this, and I knew that right from the beginning, this was going to be a put play. Okay, by the way, I went pretty heavy on this one. So with the 1K account, these contracts were very, very cheap. All right, I even looked at the weeklies. I did point this out. Look at it, the in the monies, basically the 121s, they're at 0.77. The 125s, I think they were like less than $1. So now they're at like 385, if I'm not mistaken, or it was the 121. Yeah, the 125s, I think they were like about $1 or something. So we ended up taking that, these puts all the way to the bottom. I said the first target 121.50. This is where I scaled out. And then at the 121, we were out of the full position, all in one 15-minute candle right when the market opened. It had that nice pop to the downside. And that was pretty much the A+ setup today for the 1K account that was provided, right? But like I said, I posted this in Conservative Collectors. It's totally up to you guys to take that trade. The explanation was there. The breakdown was there. Everything that I said I am short bias on this name, but be ready to play both sides. The short bias ended up playing to the downside like we predicted. It's not even that we predicted, but we saw this coming. We were fully prepared, mentally prepared, gauged in on everything. So homework was properly done on a ticker like this, okay? I'm not gonna look for continuation. I really don't care what happens next to this because I already played the pattern and I'm basically done with that, okay? So that was TSM. The other one that I did provide on the watch list for today, for this morning, was MCD. MCD has been fighting this level here. Now, if you guys can see this high right here, okay, we're kind of like, we're flirting with this level. We're building pressure in here, right? The pressure is being built right here. Okay, so it's like the 240 and the 241, 30, 40. You can even just say 241.50. It's been holding. While this market has been up and down, well, technically all the way down, it's holding. And that's the awesome part about this ticker, that the more value that this holds at a resistance level, it's telling you that not many sellers are taking control. When a seller takes control, they drop it all the way down with aggressiveness. The aggressiveness because the market sentiment is bearish. In this case, the market has been bearish since we opened here on McDonald's, and we're still holding this level. Why is that? Okay, that should show you that because of the base, because of the accumulation phase, it's going to be ready to pop with a nice green market. Unfortunately, this thing was rejected right at the open. I personally had taken a swing here on a different account. I ended up taking the loss because it broke this piece right here. And as soon as I cut loss, this thing ended up reversing. I mean, I could have averaged down and all that, but you know, who cares? I did my play. I took it as a stop loss. I respected it. And I didn't try to average down just because of the market being red. And I didn't want to average down because it did break the pattern and it did get rejected from a resistance. So had I averaged down and this potentially could have kept on driving down, I would have been even more in the red. So I didn't want to take upon that risk because I knew we were at a resistance level. But now that the market came bullish, so you can see all my alerts are here. We can see McDonald's have a nice pop over this level right here, okay? This is what I'm going to be waiting for into the next couple of days if we do pop. A safer entry would be around the 241.50. If you don't want to wait for that 241.50, get in over 241. Anything over that 241, if you want to dip by around 240, take the dip by at 240 with your stop loss of 50 cents at 239.50, where I originally had my stop loss from my swing. Okay, so I like that this is accumulating here. I like that the volume came in and created this nice buyer wick. This buyer wick is legit all over across the board. It's everywhere in the market because, like I said, I identified the characteristics on NQ, and because of the NQ trend changing, it brought RTY to trend change, and it brought the /ES to trend change, and just in general in the market, there's a lot of buyers that stepped in today. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now let me show you another thing that I noticed on the VIX. And if you guys go back, you guys go look at some of the previous videos. I do talk about the VIX. Okay, there's a video out there in this YouTube channel that talks about like the hedging and things like that. And there's another one where I talk about some charting on the VIX. So if anybody over here comes and tells you that this chart is going to hit a specific level, or they're looking for a specific support level, there is no such thing of that. Okay, this is a fear index. This is a volatility index. It increases, this moves based on the volatility in the market. When there's fear in the market, this thing is going to increase in IV, it's going to increase volatility, and it's just going to move. There's no telling where it's going to go. There's no telling where it's going to stop. Okay, none of that. So you can't come on here and start charting this. If somebody is charting this, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna leave my comments to myself. All right, so let me show you again like characteristics that I've shown you with NQ. See this green candle? Look at the next candle, red. See this green pump? Red. Green pump, red. Green pump, red. Green, red. Green, red. You see the pattern? You see the pattern now? Look at this. Here's your green. Guess what? We're coming back down, and that's an amazing characteristic that I was able to see yesterday, the previous day, and the closing of this last week. I ended up swinging those VIX puts that I ended up taking profit. So now I'm gonna go on the 4-hour, and you see the same thing. Look at all the rejection. Okay, just rejection, just coming down. The direction is going to be going down. So this is a amazing characteristic that I was able to identify just in the past, and it has to do with price action. Anything that's happened in the past will happen in the future. That's what price action is. If you guys go and check those videos out, that's how I explain it. Anything that has happened in the past will happen in the future. Remember that. All right. The other thing that I want to point out is that yesterday I looked at this IV. The IV was at like 150. These contracts for the 29th were at like 200. So now these dropped in volatility. So what it's telling you is that there's not a lot of fear in the market anymore. Because there's not a lot of fear, there's a lot of buyers now. It's shift changing. Everything is changing to the top side. So please don't grab puts on VIX, because if you do, no matter what you do, even if it goes in the money, you're going to lose because of the IV that's going to kill you. If you don't know that, make sure you go do some homework on IV crush. All right. So, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up as to what is happening in the market, how some of the tickers played out, and, some of the plays that we were set up for. Now, remember that I want you guys to understand characteristics. I want to be able to show you and provide value versus a signal. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to trade, okay? But I definitely will explain a good setup. So let's look at BA. BA has been on this nice downtrend, and I just want to give you guys the levels for this because I am in calls. I did post a swing play on this. I got October 1st. I actually loaded on a few accounts, so I'm pretty deep in BA. So here's your downtrend. Here's your downtrend. What I notice here is that there's not a lot of structure. It's just, you know, a nice staircase pattern down. Sometimes it's aggressive, and that's just BA. But look what it's doing now. After this huge drop, it came rallying and it created this base. I really wanted to pop over that 222, 223 area where we can take it for the trend change and just take it up, but it never happened. It actually played to the downside, and now it's what it's doing. It's building a base. It's building a base, a bottom base on with another base. So the awesome part is that I did take a call right before close around the 213.50. I took it around there. So it's up right now. It's at 214.22 contracts, but I mean, we can wake up at the floor. So I'm ready for anything. My stop loss for this is going to be down here at this 211. That's why I grabbed October 15th, because I plan on watching this play out in the next couple of days. If the next couple of days we close around this 216, the contract's already going to be in the money. It's going to be the 215s. So, you know, coming up here, I really think there's a lot of upside potential for BA. It has potential to drop down, like I said, you know, maybe to this 204 level or 205, sorry, around 205, but it doesn't have to. What it's doing right now, it's building accumulation. And if the more accumulation it builds, the better it is, because the greater the pop will be. The trend change will be amazing. So once we start breaking 216, that's your entry. 217.30 would be another entry, and then the target prices is going to be to this 222 to 223 area where the next supply is. So if we can crack this in the next 2 days, if this market can continue to the top side, if jets can hold, the airlines can hold just value in general, I think we can see a lot of upside potential for BA. So this is going to be on the next top watch list for the rest of the week. Even the next 2 weeks, if we don't hit this 222 by Friday. I mean, it would be amazing if it does, because I went pretty heavy on it. But, you know, this market can do whatever it wants. And, you know, one thing you guys got to be aware of is when you guys are trading BA, make sure to check the news. There's a lot of news articles that come out. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And the reaction for BA just does the opposite. So keep that in mind, okay? So put this on your top playlist, your watch list, whatever you guys want to call it. You know, send the word out, post BA everywhere, all across the board, and then, you know, understand what's happening in the market. Okay, guys, I literally just gave you guys the reason of what the value is here for the trend change. I showed you guys on NQ and how it's happening. Like I said, I don't trade indicators. I just trade charts, candles, fully naked charts here, right? And so we're looking for some good momentum to the top side. So the next one I'm waiting for is going to be RTY, which is small cap. So if XLF and airlines can continue to the top, I think this still can go. So make sure you have your alerts way up here at this 2250 area, 2248, 2243. This is IWM if you don't know. There is a video that I made on this as well. So the other one is going to be financials. I really want to see this pop. It actually ended up popping yesterday as well. All financials did to the top, and I was able to take a lot of profits on JPM, which was amazing. So these are still in their channel. So make sure you guys go look at these and then play them pre-market levels, right? So JPM, GS, this thing went way up here. It hit the level that I made a video for the guys in Conservative Collectors, and hopefully they were able to take some. I know a few people took 100% on this play. So this was pretty awesome. So if GS can reclaim the 404 all the way to like the 405.50, then this thing could come rallying back up with the rest of the financials. You're looking at BAC. BAC is still in that downtrend. Like I said, C is the better play just because it's already here. and it showed a lot of strength today. So yeah, I think the market is doing okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You guys just got to be able to change your bias, and don't think that the market is going to come crashing down. I said this in the previous video. I will say it again. This market is still bullish, guys. There's nothing wrong with it. We are expecting to see pullbacks in the market, but technically there's still nothing here that's going to crash the market. So make sure you guys are aware of that, all right? Be aware that we're at all-time highs and the pullbacks can be aggressive. So you can play puts and calls, you're option traders. If you don't know how to play puts, you better start learning, right? So hopefully this kind of helps you guys understand, engage in the market sentiment. And remember that the 1K account, guys, it's not that difficult. You just got to set up a structure, set up a game plan, look for an A+ setup. And like I said, a lot of the information that I'm providing, it's in Conservative Collectors. So this is just a little piece. All right. So keep in mind, if you guys are not part of Conservative Collectors, come on in, check us out. There's a lot of good information, a lot of good plays that the guys are doing. So great job to them and the admins and, you know, everybody else who's part of Conservative Collectors. You know, you guys are in the right place. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. And yeah, you guys make sure you keep eyes on BA, keep eyes on GM, Google, and oh, also, I know there was some good news on Microsoft. So before I forget, I do want to mention this. You guys know I don't like all-time high levels, but the increase in volume is good. There's a buyback program for Microsoft. I just want to remind you that there was a buyback for spots last time, and look what happened. There was a buyback here for spot, and I was actually able to trade this with everybody else, and look how long it ran for. Okay, so my entry was here at 210. I only literally traded 2 days and I left it alone, and then it ran all the way to 260. So Microsoft is a great company. It's been holding on very tight, and it could definitely break the 206 and look for, sorry, 306. I would look for 310, honestly, but look for every whole number up top, right? So once we break 306, you look for 307, 308, 309, 310. And Microsoft, it's a very liquid stock. It's a good stock that you can trade on your 1K account if you guys still have it, if you guys are taking these trades. If you're doing your homework and setting your own alerts, then for sure you're probably still green. So this can have more potential to keep on going, but be aware that we're at all-time highs, so any pullback can be aggressive. Okay, so if you see an aggressive sell-off, don't be afraid to buy the dip on these. Okay, the reactions, but also make sure that you manage properly. Don't go too heavy on those dips. Okay, so yeah, I just want to leave you with that side note just to end the video, and hopefully you guys are learning a lot from this. And like I said, if you're not, please hop into that Conservative Collectors, and that's where I'm posting some of the videos and some of the breakdowns. So good luck, guys. You guys stay green, and let's see this green market make some all-time highs by Friday. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.